If your thinking stays small, your life stays stuck. Most people don't even realize they're holding themselves back. They go through the day doing what they're told, thinking what they've been taught, and following paths that don't lead anywhere real. They've never been told they can challenge their own thoughts. They've never been pushed to think bigger for themselves. That's why their life stays in the same cycle, same problems, same habits, same excuses. This is where it changes. In this video, you're going to learn how to think beyond limits. You're going to learn how to take back control of your own mind, not with hype, not with empty advice, but with real clear steps that shift the way you think, act, and live. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be honest. You need to be focused. And you need to stop waiting for change and start thinking like it's already yours. Chapter 1. Stop thinking small and question everything you believe. Stop thinking small and question everything you believe. That's where real change begins. Most people live their entire lives inside a mental box they didn't even build themselves. They follow rules they never agreed to. They carry beliefs they never chose. They act like everything they think is true, when in reality most of what they believe is borrowed from someone else. Parents, teachers, culture, even people who never achieved anything themselves. And the worst part, they never stop to ask, is this really true for me? The mind can be your greatest tool or your biggest trap. What you believe about yourself, your future, your potential, it shapes every decision you make. Every move you do or don't make is based on a belief you've accepted as fact. And if those beliefs are small, then your actions will stay small. You'll settle, you'll doubt yourself, you'll play it safe. People are not born limited. They're taught to think that way. You weren't born thinking you can't. You were told it, shown it, maybe punished when you tried to do more. Over time, that becomes your reality, but it's not real, it's just repeated, and anything that's been repeated can be replaced with something stronger. That's why the first step to thinking beyond limits is to question the limits themselves. Ask yourself, who told me I couldn't do this? Who told me this was too much for me? Who said I had to wait, to hold back, to stay quiet, to be realistic? And why did I believe them? When you begin to ask those questions, you'll notice something. You'll feel resistance. Your mind might say, this is the way it's always been, or that's just how things are. That's not truth. That's conditioning. That's a habit of thought, and habits can be broken, not easily, but they can, and they must, if you want to live beyond where you are now. You don't need a new personality. You need a new mindset. You don't need more motivation. You need more awareness. Awareness of how you think. Awareness of how many of your thoughts aren't even yours. They're programmed. They were absorbed, and they've been sitting there, running your life while you call it normal. Start paying attention. Every time you say, I can't, stop and ask, why not? Every time you say, that's not possible for someone like me, ask yourself, who said that? And what makes them right? You'll find that most of the limits in your life are not real barriers. They're just thoughts that haven't been challenged yet. And here's something powerful. Once you challenge a thought, it starts to lose its control over you. When you bring something to the surface, you can deal with it. You can reframe it. You can replace it. But if you never look at it, if you never stop and question it, it keeps running in the background, quiet, invisible, controlling everything. You see, small thinking never feels small when you're inside it. It feels normal. It feels safe. But safe isn't always right. Safe isn't always healthy. Safe isn't always what you need. Sometimes you've got to stop chasing what feels easy and start chasing what sets you free. If you grew up being told to stay in your place, speak only when spoken to, follow the rules, never stand out, you've got some unlearning to do, because none of that helps you when it's time to lead your life. None of that will give you the strength to take risks, to speak up, to believe in yourself when others don't. Thinking beyond limits is not just about ambition. It's about truth. It's about becoming honest with yourself about what's holding you back. It's about refusing to repeat the same cycle of self-doubt, hesitation, and small expectations. You can't live big with small thoughts. You can't create a future with beliefs that belong in the past. You can't move forward when your mind is still tied to who you used to be. That's why today, right now, it's time to start a new mental routine, one that's built on questions, real questions, hard questions. Ask yourself, why do I keep expecting less from myself? Who convinced me I'm not ready? When did I decide that I wasn't enough? What am I afraid of that's stopping me from trying? These questions aren't easy, but they're necessary, because they pull you out of autopilot. They force you to think. And when you think clearly, when you think for yourself, you reclaim your power. You're not here to live someone else's life. You're not here to follow a script written by fear or pressure or insecurity. You're here to lead, to rise, to grow, and that begins by breaking mental patterns that no longer serve you. If you believe you're not smart enough, strong enough, capable enough, prove that belief wrong, not by talking about it, but by doing the thing anyway. That's how you break small thinking. You do what you said you couldn't. You go past the voice in your head that tells you to stop. You keep moving even when doubt is screaming. And when you do that, when you move in spite of fear, when you try in spite of past failures, something shifts inside you. You start to trust yourself. You start to see that the limits were never real. They were just waiting for you to fight back. Most people never do. Most people wait for proof before they believe. But it doesn't work like that. Belief comes first. You move first. Then you get proof. That's how growth works. You act before you're ready. You start before it's perfect. You speak before you feel confident. And through that action, your belief grows stronger. That's why thinking beyond limits isn't about being fearless. It's about moving through fear. It's not about having perfect answers. It's about asking the right questions. It's about knowing that you don't have to stay stuck just because it's what you're used to. You don't have to keep living by rules that were never meant for you. You don't have to accept every thought that shows up. You don't have to stay small just because others around you are. You have a mind. Use it. Question it. Train it. Direct it. If your thoughts aren't helping you grow, you've got to replace them, and that takes daily effort, daily awareness, daily reflection. You have to make it a habit to think bigger, not once a week, every day. You have to build that mental muscle. Wake up every morning and remind yourself you're not limited by what you were told. You're not trapped by what you used to believe. You're not stuck unless you choose to be. You have more in you than you've shown, more strength, more vision, more potential, but none of it matters if you keep thinking like the person you were yesterday. It starts with how you talk to yourself. It starts with what you accept as true. It starts with what you allow into your mind every single day. Stop giving power to doubt. Stop feeding thoughts that hold you back. Stop making decisions based on fear. Start challenging everything that feels like a limit, because most limits are built on lies, and the moment you decide to think for yourself, you take the first step toward freedom, the first step toward change, the first step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. So start now, think better, think bigger, and never again let small thoughts decide your future. Chapter 2. Train your brain to focus on what's real. Most people spend their lives focusing on what doesn't matter. They focus on distractions. They focus on what others think. They focus on fear, on worst-case scenarios, on problems that haven't even happened yet. And because they give all their attention to what's not real or not important, they miss what truly matters. If you want to move your life forward, if you want to build something strong, then you've got to train your brain to focus on what's real. The human mind is powerful, but it's also messy. It doesn't naturally stay focused. It jumps from one thing to the next. It reacts, it wanders, and if you're not careful, your mind will take you places that don't serve you. That's why you can't leave your focus up to chance. You've got to train it like a skill. You've got to learn how to catch your thoughts and bring them back to what actually matters. You can't think clearly when your mind is flooded with noise. And these days, everyone's mind is full of noise. Social media, constant opinions, breaking news, comparison, entertainment, all of it pulling your attention away from the present moment, away from your goals, away from your values. The result, a life that feels scattered, tired, unclear, like something is always missing but you don't know what it is. When your mind is unfocused, your actions lose direction, and if your actions have no direction, you can't grow, you stay stuck, you keep repeating the same patterns, you chase the wrong things, you work hard, but you don't move forward. That's what happens when you don't train your mind to focus. Focusing on what's real means learning to separate what's true from what's just noise. It means asking, what am I spending my energy on right now? Is it helping me? Is it connected to what I care about? Or is it just keeping me distracted, entertained, or stuck? You've got to get honest with yourself. Because there are things you keep thinking about that have no value. There are conversations you replay that don't help you. There are people you're trying to impress who don't even know who they are themselves. There are mistakes you made years ago that still live rent-free in your head, and none of it is helping you. None of it is real in this moment. It's just noise. You've got to shut that down and get your mind back on track. Focus isn't a one-time decision. It's a discipline. You've got to work on it every day. You've got to remind yourself again and again what matters, and more importantly, what doesn't. You've got to stop chasing thoughts that don't belong to you. You've got to stop getting pulled into problems that aren't yours to solve. You've got to let go of the mental habits that waste your time and weaken your focus. You get to decide where your attention goes, and that decision will shape your life more than talent, more than luck, more than timing. What you focus on becomes your reality. If you focus on problems, you'll always feel stuck. If you focus on fear, you'll always feel limited. But if you focus on truth, progress, purpose and effort, you'll start to feel strong again. It starts with clarity. You've got to know what you want, what matters most to you, what kind of person you want to be, what kind of life you're building. If you don't have clarity, you'll keep drifting. You'll let other people decide what deserves your time. You'll say yes to things that don't matter. You'll waste months, even years, chasing the wrong things. But once you're clear, everything gets easier. Your focus has a place to land. Your energy gets directed. Your time feels valuable. Your decisions feel lighter. You start to feel proud of how you spend your day. That's what happens when your brain is focused on what's real. What's real is your goals. What's real is your effort. What's real is your time. What's real is your relationships. What's real is your habits, your choices, your health, your discipline. These are the things that build your life. These are the things that deserve your attention. So you've got to build mental habits that support real focus. Start by managing your environment. If your phone is always pulling you away, fix that. If people around you waste your time with useless talk, pull back. If your mornings are chaotic, set a routine. Make it easier for your brain to stay locked in. Then work on self-awareness. Catch your thoughts when they wander. When you notice you're drifting into useless thinking, pause. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me right now? If it's not, bring your mind back to the work, back to your day, back to what you can control. The more you do this, the stronger your focus becomes. It's not about being perfect, it's about building the muscle. A strong mind isn't one that never gets distracted, it's one that notices distraction quickly and returns to what matters. That's the skill you need. You also need to protect your mental space. That means saying no more often, saying no to things that don't align with your goals, saying no to people who drain you, saying no to mental habits that leave you tired and empty. Every time you say no to something false, you say yes to something real. And while you're building your focus, you've got to stay patient. Your mind won't change overnight. It's been running on old habits for years. But if you stick with it, if you keep showing up, you'll notice something start to shift. You'll stop reacting so much. You'll stop wasting time on useless thoughts. You'll feel clearer, stronger, more grounded, and that's when your life starts to change. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. You don't need to be busy every minute. You need to be focused. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing. You need to stay connected to your vision. That's where your power lives. So take your mind seriously. Stop letting it wander all day. Stop letting your focus get hijacked. Train it, strengthen it, control it, because when your mind works for you, everything else becomes possible. You're not supposed to feel lost all the time. You're not supposed to feel like you're chasing 100 things and still getting nowhere. You're not supposed to be tired every day with nothing to show for it. That's what happens when you focus on what's not real. What's real is your effort. What's real is your growth. What's real is the person you're becoming. Put your focus there. Keep your mind there, and watch how far you can go. It's not going to be easy. You'll get distracted. You'll mess up. But every time you bring your mind back, you get stronger. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you build character. Every time you focus on what's real, you move forward. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for your focus to magically show up. Take control of it now. Start training your mind today. Start choosing what deserves your attention, because if you don't, the world will decide for you, and you can't afford that. You've got something valuable to build. You've got work that matters. You've got people to lead, a future to create, a life to build. That means your mind has to be strong. Your focus has to be sharp. Your time has to be guarded. Focus is not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things, and doing them with full attention, full presence, full commitment. That's how real growth happens. Train your brain to focus. Keep your eyes on what's real, and don't look back.
Chapter 3. Drop the need for approval and trust yourself more. Most people are held back by one thing they rarely admit. They're waiting for someone else to tell them they're good enough. They work hard, they try, they dream, but deep down they want someone to say, "You're doing the right thing. Keep going." And if that approval doesn't come, they stop. They start doubting themselves. They hesitate. They shrink their goals, not because they've failed, but because they never felt seen or supported. That's what living for approval does to you. It makes you doubt your own voice and give power to everyone else's. The truth is, if you want to grow, you have to stop asking for permission. You have to stop waiting for someone to validate your decisions. You have to drop the need for people to agree with your goals before you chase them. Because most people don't understand your path. They don't know your inner battles. They don't feel what you feel. And it's not their job to approve of your dreams. It's your job to believe in them enough to keep going without applause. Every time you hold back because you're afraid of what people will say, you give them control of your life. Every time you silence your own ideas because they might not be popular, you're training yourself to stay small. And the longer you live like that, the harder it becomes to hear your own voice. You start second-guessing your thoughts, doubting your instincts, and following the crowd just to avoid judgment. But the people you're trying to impress aren't thinking about you as much as you believe. They're busy with their own fears. They're questioning their own path. They're not watching you the way you imagine they are. And even if they were, what does it change? If someone doesn't approve of your choices, does that mean your vision has no value? No. It means they don't see it. And they don't have to. You've got to build a mindset that stands on its own. One that doesn't collapse when someone doesn't clap. One that doesn't fall apart because someone criticized you. You've got to trust yourself more than you trust the crowd. You've got to believe in what you're doing, even when others don't get it yet. That doesn't mean you ignore feedback. It means you learn to separate useful input from empty opinions. If someone has lived what you're trying to live, their insight might help. But if they've never done what you're doing, why would you let their doubt stop you? There will always be people who don't understand your path. That's not your problem. Your problem is when you let their doubt become your reality. Your job is to keep building, to keep learning, to keep becoming better, without needing a standing ovation every step of the way. When you trust yourself, your decisions get sharper. You don't waste energy asking everyone what they think. You stop over-explaining. You stop apologizing for wanting more. You move forward with calm, not because you're fearless, but because you finally believe in your ability to figure it out. That's what real confidence is. Not loud, not arrogant, just stable. You know who you are. You know what you're working toward. And you no longer need 10 people to say, "Good job," just to keep going. You've built something stronger than that. You've built a mind that doesn't break every time someone doesn't agree. You also stop needing to prove yourself. So many people are working hard, not because they love what they do, but because they're trying to prove something to someone. They want to prove they're not a failure. They want to prove they made the right decision. They want to prove that they're valuable. And all of that energy is coming from fear. But when you drop the need for approval, you stop working from fear. You start working from truth, from purpose, from peace. You build a life that feels good to you, not just one that looks good to others. You stop chasing titles just to be respected. You stop posting everything just to be liked. You start creating for impact, for meaning, for growth. That shift is everything. It frees you. You start doing what actually matters. You stop wasting time pleasing people who will never be pleased. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. And you realize something important: approval isn't fuel, it's a distraction. The people who go the farthest are not the ones who were praised the most. They're the ones who kept going even when no one said anything. They're the ones who trusted their gut, followed their path, and didn't let outside opinions shape their identity. You have to become one of those people. You have to stop looking for outside signs and start building inside strength. You have to learn how to be alone with your decisions and still stand behind them. You have to practice backing yourself when no one else does. It won't feel natural at first. If you've lived your life trying to get it right in other people's eyes, breaking that habit will feel uncomfortable. But you've got to go through that discomfort. You've got to sit in that space where you feel unsure but choose to move anyway. Because the only way to build real trust in yourself is to act without needing approval and see that you still made the right call. You're not here to be perfect in everyone's eyes. You're here to grow, to evolve, to live a life that means something to you. That won't always make sense to others. That won't always be accepted. But if you keep chasing validation, you'll live a life of fear. You'll never be free. And that's a price too high. So decide right now to stop depending on other people's acceptance. Decide to give yourself what you've been waiting for. You want someone to say you're capable? Say it to yourself. You want someone to say you're ready? Say it to yourself. You want someone to believe in you? Start by being the first one who does. That decision will change your energy. It will change how you walk, how you speak, how you respond. You'll no longer need to explain your every move. You'll stop asking for permission to be who you already are. And you'll stop apologizing for being different. Because here's the truth: no one can approve of your life more than you can. No one knows what you've survived. No one feels what you feel. No one sees your full vision but you. So give yourself the approval you've been chasing. Trust your path. Trust your choices. Trust your process. And don't expect perfection. Just stay committed. Stay honest. Stay grounded. And when doubt creeps in, as it always will, remind yourself you don't need to be understood by everyone. You just need to keep going. The people who matter will see it in time. And the ones who don't, they were never your guide to begin with. Your voice matters. Your thoughts have weight. Your future is your responsibility. So stop waiting. Start trusting. And never again let approval be the reason you slow down. Chapter 4. Force yourself to do what you always avoid. There are things in your life right now that you know you should be doing, but you keep pushing them aside. You keep finding ways to delay, distract, or avoid. Not because you don't care, not because you're lazy, but because those things make you uncomfortable. They stretch you. They expose your weaknesses. They force you to deal with your own limits. And instead of facing them head-on, you stay in the zone that feels familiar. But familiar doesn't mean right. And if you keep avoiding what challenges you, you will never grow. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from doing the very things your mind keeps trying to run from. That phone call you haven't made. That conversation you've been putting off. That task you keep skipping. That goal you write down but never take action on. Every one of those things is a doorway to progress. But the only way through is action. And not just action when it feels good. Action when it feels hard. That's where transformation begins. The truth is, you will never feel fully ready. Waiting for motivation is a trap. Waiting to feel confident before you start is a lie. Your mind tells you to protect you from discomfort. And if you listen to that lie, you'll stay stuck. Day after day, year after year, telling yourself you'll do it later. Once things calm down, once you have more time, once you're more prepared. But later becomes never, and time keeps moving. You've got to learn how to override your own hesitation. You've got to force yourself into movement. Not once, but over and over, until it becomes your new normal. That's how real change happens. Not by thinking about it, not by planning endlessly, but by doing the thing, even when you feel resistance. Especially when you feel resistance. Avoidance is the enemy of growth. Every time you avoid something difficult, you strengthen the part of your mind that chooses fear. And the more you choose fear, the weaker your ability to lead yourself becomes. You start becoming someone who always needs ideal conditions. Someone who only moves when it's easy. And that mindset doesn't build anything real. You have to train your brain to act, not hesitate. To do, not delay. That training begins with small decisions. Getting up when you want to sleep in. Starting when you feel unsure. Finishing when you feel tired. Showing up when no one is watching. These are not dramatic changes, but they build something inside you that no one can give you. Discipline. Discipline is what allows you to grow, even when motivation is gone. It's what pushes you to face hard things instead of running. It's what separates those who make progress from those who just talk about it. And the only way to build it is to force yourself into the actions you've been avoiding. Start paying attention to your patterns. Notice what you keep skipping. Notice what you keep telling yourself you'll handle tomorrow. Those are not accidents. Those are signals. Signals of what's blocking you. Signals of where your growth lives. And once you see it, stop negotiating with yourself. Don't wait until it feels perfect. Don't wait for the mood to hit. Just start. Take one action you've been avoiding and do it today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Even if it's uncomfortable. Even if it's messy. Even if you're not sure how it will go. Because that one action will shift your identity. It will remind you that you are capable. That you are not controlled by fear. That you are someone who moves forward no matter what. And once you do it again. Stack those actions. Build momentum. Every time you act in spite of resistance, you weaken the habit of avoidance. And you strengthen your ability to lead yourself through anything. That's what matters most. Not how perfect the action is, but how consistent your mindset becomes. Don't wait for someone to push you. Be your own push. Be your own reason. Be the person who takes responsibility for your own future. Because no one is coming to save you. No one is going to chase you down and make you do the hard things. That has to come from you. And the sooner you accept that, the stronger you get. Think about what it's costing you to avoid what you know matters. The stress, the regret, the wasted time, the missed opportunities. None of that goes away until you decide to face what you keep running from. And the moment you do, you take back your power. This isn't about being fearless. It's about acting while the fear is still there. It's about not letting that fear control your behavior. It's about realizing that the fear you feel is just a sign that something important is on the other side. And the only way to reach it is through action. You can sit and overthink. You can plan forever. You can wait for the perfect mindset. But none of that will replace the power of taking action now. Because action changes how you think. It clears your mind. It builds confidence. It gives you proof that you are not helpless. That you can face discomfort and come out stronger. You don't need a full plan. You don't need perfect timing. You need to stop running from your responsibilities. You need to stop lying to yourself about what you'll do later. You need to start choosing action over comfort. And don't expect it to feel good right away. It won't. You might feel anxious. You might feel overwhelmed. That's normal. That's part of the process. But you push through that. You stay in it. You finish what you start. And you remind yourself, this is how strong people are built. Every strong person you admire has mastered this. They've learned how to move forward when their emotions scream stop. They've trained themselves to act while others freeze. And that's why they rise. That's why they keep growing. Not because they're smarter, but because they stopped avoiding what matters. You can do the same. You just have to stop making it optional. You have to stop thinking that discomfort means something's wrong. Discomfort is a signal that you're stretching, that you're entering the space where change lives. So stop hiding behind excuses. Stop convincing yourself that you'll do it later. Later won't build your dream. Later won't fix what's broken. Later won't give you confidence. Only action will. And it starts with doing what you've always avoided. Pick the thing you've been running from. Make it your mission today. Do it fully. Do it completely. And then do it again tomorrow. Stack those wins. Build that muscle. Because the life you want is not on the other side of comfort. It's on the other side of action. And you get there by forcing yourself forward day by day, choice by choice. Until what once scared you becomes what now strengthens you. Chapter 5. Take full control of your time and energy. Most people say they want more out of life, but they never stop to realize what they're giving away every single day, their time and their energy. These are the two most valuable things you have. More valuable than money. More valuable than opportunity. More valuable than any talent you were born with. Because without control over your time and your energy, nothing else works. You can't grow, you can't lead, you can't succeed, and you certainly can't stay consistent. You can have the best ideas in the world, but if your day is a mess and your energy is drained by people and things that don't matter, you'll never get to where you want to be. Time is not the problem. How you use it is. Everyone gets 24 hours. That part is fair, but how you protect your hours, how you fill them, and how you manage your attention inside of them, that's what makes the difference. And it starts with being honest about where your time is going right now. Not the ideal version, but the real one. Look at how much of your day is spent reacting to things that are not helping you grow. Look at how many conversations you engage in that leave you drained. Look at how many tasks you do that take you nowhere. The same goes for your energy. You only get so much mental strength in a day. Once it's gone, it's gone. If you waste your mornings on distractions, by the time you're ready to work on something that matters, your mind is already tired. If you deal with toxic people all day, you'll have nothing left in the tank to push your goals forward. That's not a personal flaw. That's a result of poor management. The good news is, you can fix that. You can take your time and your energy back, but you have to be ruthless about it. Start by removing what drains you. That includes people who bring drama. That includes habits that waste hours without return. That includes saying yes when you really mean no. Every time you give your time or your energy to something that doesn't serve your values, you pay a cost, and that cost adds up. Not just in lost hours, but in lost focus, lost momentum, and lost belief in yourself. If you want to become more, you have to stop giving your power to things that keep you the same. You can't keep living on autopilot. You can't keep saying I'm busy while filling your schedule with low-value activity. You have to stop glorifying being overwhelmed. Being busy doesn't mean you're productive. Being tired doesn't mean you're doing important work. True growth comes from intentional use of your time. It comes from energy that's protected, not spent on everyone and everything that demands your attention. Take ownership of your mornings. That's where the tone of your day is set. If you begin your day by reacting to your phone, you've already surrendered your focus. If the first hour of your morning is chaotic, the rest of your day will feel off track. You need a morning routine that gives you clarity. Not something fancy, just a simple structure that reminds you who you are and what your priorities are before the world tries to tell you otherwise. Then guard your time like it matters, because it does. Schedule the things that matter most: your goals, your learning, your health, your planning. Don't squeeze them in after the day is already full. Make them the anchors of your schedule. If it's not on your calendar, it's not real. Don't assume you'll find time. You won't. You make time or you lose it. Start tracking your time if you have to. Write down what you do each hour for a few days. You'll be shocked at how much time leaks away through meaningless activity. The goal isn't to work every second of the day. The goal is to become aware, because awareness gives you power. Once you see where your time and energy go, you can begin to take it back. And you don't need to make huge changes all at once. Start by blocking distractions. Give yourself blocks of uninterrupted time each day to work deeply on something meaningful. Turn your phone off. Silence the notifications. Let people know that during this time, you're unavailable. Your mind will resist at first. It's used to being pulled in different directions. But with consistency, you'll regain control. You'll notice how much clearer your thinking becomes, how much more focused you feel. That's not an accident. That's the result of discipline. Learn how to say no without guilt. Every yes you give is a no to something else. So don't say yes out of pressure. Say yes because it fits into your vision. Say yes because it aligns with who you're becoming. Your time is not free. Your energy is not unlimited. You are not here to please everyone. You are here to lead yourself. And leadership means choosing what matters most, even when it's uncomfortable. Stop chasing urgency and start chasing importance. Not everything that screams for your attention deserves it. Many things feel urgent but aren't important. Many things feel important but only distract you from your path. Learn the difference. Focus on the few things that move your life forward. Everything else is noise. And here's something most people don't realize. Taking control of your time is not just about productivity. It's about self-respect. When you say, "This hour is mine and I'm going to use it well," you're not just managing a schedule, you're building trust with yourself. You're telling yourself that your goals matter, that your future matters, that your peace matters. And when you do that long enough, you start to feel a different kind of confidence. One that comes from knowing that you are living with intention. This isn't about working non-stop. It's about learning how to recover too. Energy isn't just about working harder, it's about managing your state. If your body is drained, your mind won't focus. If your emotions are unsettled, your energy will be scattered. That means rest has to be part of the plan. Sleep has to be protected. Nutrition, movement, time in silence, space to breathe, all of it matters. It's also about emotional energy. Some people drain you even if you love them. Some conversations leave you tired for hours. You've got to recognize that. You've got to learn when to engage and when to step back. Not because you're cold, but because your energy has a purpose. And if you're always giving it away, you'll have nothing left for the things that matter. So build a system that supports your energy. Keep your workspace clean. Build routines that reduce decision fatigue. Limit pointless scrolling. Walk instead of sitting all day. Make time to disconnect. Simplify your life where you can. The less clutter in your environment, the less stress in your mind. You only get one life. And every day you wake up, your time and your energy are either used well or wasted. That decision belongs to you. No one can manage it for you. No one will value it more than you do. So make it your mission to take full control of both. Build days that reflect your goals. Build habits that support your strength. Build boundaries that protect your peace. Because once you control your time and your energy, you control your life. And when you control your life, everything becomes possible.
Chapter 6. Act like your future depends on today's effort. Most people think the future is something that just happens. They talk about their goals, their dreams, their plans, but they act like time is unlimited. They assume they'll get serious later. They believe someday will come with more energy, more clarity, more motivation. But it doesn't. It never has, and it never will. Your future doesn't show up better unless you show up better today. Every single thing you'll experience tomorrow is being shaped by how you show up today. That's why you have to act like your future depends on today's effort, because it does. If you keep waiting for a better mood, you'll keep putting off the actions that move your life forward. If you keep waiting for a sign, you'll keep living in hesitation. The truth is, the version of you that you want to become is already possible, but it's not going to be handed to you. You're not going to stumble into it. You have to build it. You have to show up today like it matters. You have to stop seeing today as just another day and start treating it like the foundation for everything you want to experience. Every choice you make is a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. Every time you train your focus, push through resistance, do the uncomfortable task, say no to distractions, you are building your future. And every time you delay, procrastinate, avoid, escape, or make excuses, you're sending your future further away, not because you're not capable, but because you're not acting like it matters enough. When you look at your goals, you have to understand that they are not far-off dreams. They are the result of habits, decisions, and effort compounded over time. What you do today may not give you results tomorrow, but it will build something. It will shape your direction. It will create momentum. The effort you put in now may be invisible for a while, but invisible effort is not wasted effort. It's just delayed payoff. And the people who win are the ones who keep going, even when they don't see instant results, because they understand that the process works if you do. You've got to wake up with the mindset that today is your chance to move. Today is your chance to make progress. Today is your chance to lead yourself. Not next month, not next year, not when everything lines up, but now. If you treat today like it's disposable, you'll look up one day and realize that 5 years have passed and nothing really changed. But if you treat today like it matters, you'll start to see change faster than you ever expected. This mindset will change how you approach everything. You stop rushing through tasks. You stop giving half effort. You stop looking for shortcuts. You start showing up with focus. You start putting your full weight behind your actions. You stop looking for ways to get by and start building habits that build a life. There's no perfect day coming. There's no ideal condition waiting for you to finally start living fully. You have to take what you've got today and give it everything you can. You don't need more time. You need more urgency. You need to remind yourself that time is moving whether you act or not. And if you don't take charge of your time, it will be filled by everything that doesn't matter. Start asking yourself better questions. What can I do right now that moves me forward? What's one thing I've been avoiding that I need to face today? What would my future self thank me for if I did it now? These kinds of questions pull you into alignment with the life you actually want. They cut through the noise. They bring your focus back to what matters. And what matters is action. Not thinking about action, not planning endlessly, not overanalyzing, but doing. Real, concrete, measurable effort. That's what shapes your identity. That's what separates talkers from builders. Anyone can say what they want. Very few are willing to show it with action every single day. You have to make a decision. Do you want to feel comfortable now or proud later? Because most of the time, it's one or the other. The comfort you feel from skipping the work doesn't last, but the pride you feel from pushing through and doing what needed to be done, that sticks with you. That becomes your new standard, and your standard determines your future. Start thinking of your life in terms of deposits. Each day you make a deposit or a withdrawal. You either invest in your vision, your skills, your health, your mindset, or you pull from them. Over time, the balance adds up, and if you've been consistently depositing effort, discipline, and focus, you'll have something solid to stand on. But if you've been withdrawing for years, skipping the work, making excuses, choosing comfort, you'll look around and realize you've built nothing but regret. This is not about being perfect. It's about being present, being intentional, being aware that every hour has value. Every moment is a chance to choose growth over comfort, focus over noise, action over hesitation. You don't need to do everything today. You just need to do the right thing today, the thing that makes you better. The thing that builds momentum, the thing that strengthens your character. If you want the future you keep thinking about, you've got to earn it in silence. You've got to do the work when no one's watching. You've got to stop needing applause, stop looking for permission, stop chasing motivation. Just decide that your effort is not based on feelings, it's based on who you are committed to becoming. Effort is not about working non-stop, it's about showing up when it matters. It's about consistency, not intensity. The biggest changes in life don't come from one big moment. They come from daily effort, stacked again and again, until one day you look up and realize you became the person you always hoped to be. And that happens when you take today seriously, when you stop wasting time, when you stop making excuses, when you stop treating effort like something optional. You're not here to see how long you can delay. You're here to see how far you can go. And that requires urgency, that requires commitment, that requires effort right now, not later. You have the power to move forward today, even if it's a small step, even if it's a tough one, even if no one understands why you're doing it. Your life doesn't change in the future, it changes today. It changes in the decision you make when you wake up, in how you spend your first hour, in how you respond when you feel tired, in whether you keep pushing or give in. This is your edge. This is what separates people who succeed from people who settle. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's how they treat their time, it's how seriously they take their daily effort, and it's how much they believe that what they do today actually matters. So treat today like it matters. Act like your future depends on it. Because it does. What you build, what you gain, who you become, it's all waiting for you on the other side of effort. You're not stuck. You're not lost. You're just one decision away from a new direction. And that decision starts with how you act today, right now, this minute. Give it everything you've got. You won't regret it.
Chapter 7. Say exactly what you want and mean it. Most people never get what they want in life because they never say what they actually want. They speak in circles. They downplay their desires. They stay vague, hoping someone will figure it out for them or approve it first. They hold back their words out of fear, fear of being judged, fear of failing, fear of being told no. But if you can't say clearly what you want, then you'll never move toward it. You'll drift. You'll settle. You'll spend years chasing something unclear and wonder why nothing ever feels right. Being clear about what you want is not about being aggressive. It's about being honest. It's about looking at your life and saying, this is what matters to me. This is what I'm aiming for. And once you say it, you have to mean it. You have to back your words with action, with discipline, with effort. Empty statements won't get you anywhere. But when your words align with your actions, that's when things start to shift. You can't build a real life around things you half believe. You can't grow into someone strong by hiding what matters to you. The people who move forward in life aren't the ones who wait for approval. They're the ones who are willing to say, with clarity and conviction, here's what I want, and I'm going after it. No hesitation, no apology, just truth. Clarity is power. When you know exactly what you want, decisions become easier. You stop wasting time. You stop chasing what other people want for you. You stop saying yes out of pressure or politeness. You say yes to what fits and no to what doesn't. You stop explaining yourself because you're no longer confused. And the clearer your vision is, the more focused your actions become. If you've been feeling stuck, it's probably not because you lack ability. It's because you haven't decided what direction you're truly committed to. You've been trying to keep your options open. You've been avoiding the risk of being specific. But here's the truth. When you don't decide what you want, life decides for you. And you end up living a version of life that was never yours to begin with. It takes courage to say what you want. Because once you say it, now it's real. Now there's pressure. Now there's accountability. And that's what scares people. They'd rather stay vague, keep it comfortable. But comfort doesn't lead to growth. Comfort keeps you stuck in the middle, never failing, but never achieving either. Start practicing clarity today. Stop using soft language to describe your future. Stop saying I just want to be happy, or I want something better, or I hope things improve. That's not specific. That doesn't move you. Say exactly what you want. I want to earn this much. I want to live in this way. I want to build this. I want to become this kind of person. The more specific you get, the more power you give yourself. And don't just say it. Mean it. Meaning it means showing up for it. It means acting like it matters. It means protecting that goal from anything that tries to pull you away. If you say you want discipline but keep giving in to laziness, you don't mean it. If you say you want peace but keep entertaining chaos, you don't mean it. Your life will always reflect what you truly commit to, not what you talk about, but what you act on. You've got to stop hiding your voice. Stop adjusting your goals so they don't make others uncomfortable. Stop speaking in safe language. Speak with strength. Speak with direction. Speak like your future depends on it, because it does. When you say exactly what you want, people will react. Some will doubt you. Some will mock you. Some will challenge you. That's fine. That's expected. But what matters more than their reaction is your response. Do you shrink? Do you adjust? Or do you keep going, grounded in your own direction? You don't need everyone to agree with you. You don't need their approval. You need to trust yourself. You need to believe that your vision is worth the effort, even if no one claps for it. And the only way to get that level of belief is to stop watering down your truth. Speak it fully. Own it completely. Let it guide you every day. Being clear also protects you. It helps you avoid distractions. If you know what you're working toward, you won't waste time chasing things that look good but don't fit. You won't follow trends. You won't say yes just to fit in. You'll stay aligned. And that alignment builds strength, builds momentum, builds confidence. Don't let fear shape your words. Don't let doubt keep you quiet. Say what you want even if your voice shakes. Say it before you feel ready. Say it while you're still building. That honesty will unlock something in you that hesitation never could. You'll begin to see that clarity leads to progress. That commitment creates results. And that speaking the truth about your goals is the first step to living them. Stop asking for permission to dream big. Stop lowering your standards to match your current reality. Say what you want, like you expect it. Not like you're begging for it. Like it belongs to you. Like it's on the way. Because when your words come from belief, your actions follow that belief, and your life changes from the inside out. You are not too much. Your goals are not unrealistic. Your vision is not silly. What's silly is pretending to want less so others feel comfortable. What's weak is staying quiet so you don't get judged. You've got one life. Speak like it matters. Move like it matters. Live like it matters. Decide what you want. Say it. Mean it. And then build it. Not someday. Now. Every single day speak life into your future. Not with fantasy, but with purpose, with strategy, with action that backs it up. That's how you become someone powerful. That's how you create something that lasts. So stop hesitating. Stop avoiding clarity. Speak the truth about what you want. Say it with strength. Live it with commitment. And never again settle for being silent about the life you deserve.
Chapter 8. Block out noise and focus on your own path. Every day you wake up, the world starts pulling at you. Messages, opinions, trends, distractions, they all hit you the moment you open your eyes. The noise never stops. It's in your phone, your conversations, your surroundings, and even in your own mind. And if you're not careful, that noise will drown out your voice. It will blur your vision, steal your focus, and make you forget why you started in the first place. You cannot build a life that's truly yours if you keep letting the outside world control your attention. If you want to grow, you have to learn how to block out the noise and focus fully on your own path. Noise comes in many forms. It's not just sounds, it's anything that pulls you away from your direction. It's comparison, it's gossip, it's irrelevant opinions, it's the endless scroll, it's reacting to everything instead of choosing what matters. Most people spend more time listening to other people's lives than building their own. They chase trends they don't even care about. They follow ideas that don't fit them. And in the process, they lose the most valuable thing they have, their focus. You can't think clearly when your mind is filled with constant input. You can't hear your own instincts when everyone else is talking. You can't follow your own path if you're walking based on someone else's map. You have to disconnect from the noise long enough to ask yourself, what do I actually want? Not what looks impressive, not what earns praise, not what feels safe, what actually matters to you. The reason most people feel overwhelmed is not because they have too much to do, it's because they're paying attention to too many things that have nothing to do with them. You need to simplify, you need to eliminate, you need to focus not just on doing more, but doing what's right for you. And that means cutting out anything that distracts you from your mission. Blocking out the noise is not about being rude or isolated, it's about protecting your attention so it serves your purpose. You only have so much mental energy each day. If you give it away to every notification, every update, every distraction, there's nothing left for what matters. You become reactive instead of intentional. And a reactive mind cannot stay consistent. It jumps. It changes direction too often. It gets excited easily and discouraged quickly. But when you block out the noise, something changes. Your thoughts get clearer. Your pace gets steady. Your choices become simpler. You stop second-guessing yourself every 5 minutes. You stop trying to prove something to people who aren't even watching. You move forward, not because everything is easy, but because you've removed what doesn't deserve your time. You've got to stop letting strangers on the internet shape your goals. You've got to stop letting someone else's highlight reel make you question your progress. You've got to stop chasing validation and start chasing growth, because the two don't live in the same place. Validation is about looking good. Growth is about getting better. You have to pick one. If you want real progress, build quiet confidence. Let your work speak. Let your effort show. Let your results talk louder than your words. And to do that, you need time, focus, and consistency, all of which get destroyed when your mind is scattered by constant noise. Get serious about controlling your inputs. Choose what you read. Choose who you listen to. Choose what you feed your mind. Every piece of content you consume is either sharpening you or distracting you. It's either reminding you of your power or convincing you that you're behind. Be selective. Your attention is currency. Don't spend it on what gives you nothing back. This also means learning how to be alone with your own thoughts. Most people avoid silence because it forces them to face what they've been running from. But silence is where clarity lives. When you remove the noise, you start to hear your own thinking again. You start to see what really matters. You remember your own reasons. And that's when your path starts to make sense again. You don't need more motivation, you need more direction, and direction comes from quiet time, from reflection, from honest conversations with yourself, not from consuming more, not from copying what works for someone else, but from getting real about what you want and who you're becoming. Make time for that daily, even if it's just 15 minutes without distractions, no phone, no voices, just you, your thoughts and your next move. It's in those quiet moments that you begin to lead yourself. That's when you stop drifting and start moving with purpose. You also need to distance yourself from people who are addicted to noise, the ones who always bring drama, the ones who constantly complain, the ones who pull you into every little thing that doesn't matter. You can't focus on your path when you're always being pulled into chaos. Protect your space. You don't owe access to everyone. You don't have to explain why you're unavailable. You're allowed to choose peace over pressure. Your mind is not a garbage bin for the world's noise. It's the engine that drives your life. Keep it clean, keep it sharp, keep it focused, because when your mind is clear, your actions become powerful. When your path is your own, your progress becomes real. And when the noise fades, your future gets louder. Don't let the outside world shape your standards. Don't let fast results make you abandon a good process. Don't let loud opinions drown out quiet wisdom. The people who win long term are not the ones who always chase the spotlight. They're the ones who stay focused, stay grounded, and stay consistent, no matter what's happening around them. You don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to impress everyone. You need to do what you said you would do. You need to keep building. You need to stay disciplined, even when no one's clapping. That's where real strength is built, in the quiet, in the unseen, in the hours you spend staying loyal to your path. If something doesn't serve your future, let it go. If it doesn't align with your values, walk away. If it distracts you more than it develops you, cut it out. Don't feel guilty for protecting your focus. Feel proud, because most people won't. Most people will stay stuck in the noise, hoping things improve while doing nothing about it. But not you. You've seen too much. You've wasted enough time. You know what's at stake. So make the decision now. Block out the noise, reclaim your focus, and give everything you've got to your own path. That's where your strength is. That's where your future lives. Stay locked in, and don't look back.
Chapter 9. Teach your mind to work under pressure daily. Most people break under pressure because they never trained their mind to handle it. They avoid hard situations. They run from discomfort. They back down when things get tense. And then they wonder why they feel weak, why they can't stay calm when things go wrong, why they panic when life throws a challenge. If you want to grow, you have to train your mind to stay strong under stress. Not once. Every day. You don't get better by avoiding pressure. You get better by facing it again and again until your mind learns how to work through it without falling apart. Pressure is not the enemy. The real problem is how you react to it. Most people think pressure means something is wrong. They believe stress is a sign to quit. But pressure is a sign of responsibility. It means you're carrying weight. It means something is on the line. And when something matters, there will always be pressure. You don't escape that by avoiding it. You get stronger by leaning into it. You have to rewire the way you think about difficulty. Stop seeing pressure as a threat and start seeing it as training. Every hard moment is a chance to teach your mind how to stay focused, how to stay steady, how to act with clarity when everything feels heavy. That doesn't happen by accident. You have to choose it. You have to practice it. Start by catching your reactions when things get tight, when a deadline hits, when you feel behind, when someone criticizes you, when a plan falls apart. Your first instinct might be to blame, to freeze, to spiral, or to escape. That's your current programming. But your current programming isn't permanent. You can change it. And the way you change it is by responding differently. When your mind says panic, choose control. When your thoughts say give up, choose effort. When your emotions scream stress, choose calm. That doesn't mean you won't feel the pressure. It means you'll teach your brain that it doesn't have to run from it, that it can stay inside the heat and still perform. And the more often you do this, the more your mind adapts. It becomes stronger, clearer, and more prepared for whatever comes next. You have to stop waiting for perfect conditions. They don't exist. Life is unpredictable. People change. Plans fail. Pressure shows up whether you're ready or not. So train for it. Put yourself in situations that require more from you. Wake up early even when you're tired. Finish work without needing motivation. Do the uncomfortable task when you don't feel like it. Not because you love it, but because your mind needs that repetition. The more your mind sees that it can keep going, the less fear it will attach to pressure. You also need to change how you talk to yourself under stress. Most people let pressure trigger negative self-talk. They start saying things like, "I can't handle this," or "I'm not good enough," or "Why is this happening to me?" That talk makes things worse. It drains your strength. It feeds the pressure. You have to replace it with something better. Try, "This is tough, but I can handle it." Or, "I've dealt with worse than this before." Or, "This is not the end, it's just another challenge." Your self-talk is not about lying to yourself. It's about choosing words that help you move, not words that make you freeze. What you say to yourself in pressure-filled moments can either guide you or destroy you. That's why you have to practice that voice daily. Not just when everything's going well, but when everything's on the line. That's where real mental toughness is built. Start building pressure into your daily routine. Give yourself challenges that force your mind to stay locked in. Time your work and race the clock. Train your body when it's tired. Speak up when your voice shakes. Step up when your emotions want to pull back. Every one of these moments teaches your brain something valuable. It teaches that quitting is not your answer. That discomfort is part of the process. That your strength grows when you refuse to run. You also need to learn how to breathe under pressure. Most people let pressure shrink their breathing, tighten their body, cloud their thinking. You have to slow everything down. Deep breathing resets your system. It brings oxygen back to your brain. It grounds you. When you feel overwhelmed, your first response should be to stop and breathe. Don't rush. Don't react. Just breathe. Get clear, and then respond with intention. Pressure is going to show up in every part of life. In your relationships, in your work, in your goals. You're not training your mind just for one big moment. You're training it for the kind of life you want to live. One where you stay steady. One where you don't fall apart every time things get uncomfortable. One where you can be trusted under stress. Not just by others, but by yourself. You want to trust your own ability to lead yourself through difficulty. You want to know that even when things go wrong, you won't fold. That doesn't happen through theory. That happens through repetition. Through showing up when it's hard. Through proving to yourself that pressure doesn't break you. It sharpens you. And don't make the mistake of thinking you have to fix everything right away. Working under pressure doesn't mean rushing. It means staying steady, staying focused, and doing one thing at a time without letting the stress take over. Most people lose their edge under pressure because they try to do everything at once. You don't need to do everything. You need to do what matters and do it well. The real win is not just finishing the task. It's doing it while keeping your mind strong. It's showing yourself that pressure doesn't control you, that you can think clearly, act boldly, and stay grounded no matter what's going on around you. That's a rare skill. That's something most people never build. But you can. You can build a mind that doesn't panic. You can train your brain to keep working when it's hard. You can teach yourself to be calm, focused, and disciplined even when the world feels heavy. But you have to want it. You have to be willing to put yourself through discomfort every day until that discomfort becomes familiar. Until your mind stops running. and starts responding with strength. Pressure is not something to fear. It's something to train for. It's the weight that builds mental muscle. It's the test that sharpens your thinking. It's the moment that reveals who you really are. And if you train for it daily, when the big tests come, you'll be ready. Not because it's easy, but because you've built yourself for it. So start now, not later, not when life calms down. Train your mind today. Teach it how to stay strong under stress. Teach it how to move without fear. Teach it how to think clearly when everything feels uncertain. That's how you build power. That's how you grow beyond your old limits. And that's how you prepare yourself for a life that requires strength, focus, and leadership, no matter what pressure comes your way. Chapter 10. Think for yourself and stop copying weak people. Most people don't think for themselves. They just copy what they see around them. They follow trends. They repeat opinions. They imitate people who haven't figured out their own lives. They spend so much time trying to fit in that they forget how to stand on their own. And then they wonder why nothing feels right, why they feel lost, why they can't seem to make progress. The reason is simple. They've never taken the time to think deeply and honestly about what they actually believe, want, or value. They're just repeating what's familiar, even when it doesn't work. You were not made to be a copy of someone else. You were not built to follow weak people who blame, who complain, who settle, who play small. You were built to think, to choose, to question, to lead your own life with clarity and direction. But to do that, you have to stop handing your mind over to the crowd. You have to stop letting other people decide how you live, what you say, how you act, what you care about. Look around and you'll see the same patterns. People doing what everyone else is doing, not because it's right, not because it's working, but because it feels easier. It feels safer. It removes the pressure of thinking independently. But safety doesn't lead to fulfillment. Copying doesn't lead to power. And following the weak never makes you strong. You have to take responsibility for your mind. That means questioning your assumptions. That means challenging the beliefs you were taught, not to disrespect them, but to understand them. That means choosing to think deeply before you react, before you agree, 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 before you agree. If you do, their mindset becomes yours. Their limits become yours. Their fear becomes yours. Thinking for yourself is not about rejecting everyone else. It's about being selective. It's about learning from people who've earned your respect through action, not just noise. It's about asking, is this person's thinking helping them grow, before you allow their influence into your life. Because if someone's life is full of excuses, distractions, and weak habits, why would you copy anything they do? You have to start seeing your mind as your most important asset. Protect it. Strengthen it. Use it. Don't let the loudest voices control it. Don't let temporary emotions shape it. Don't let fear silence it. Every time you follow the crowd without thinking, you give up a piece of your identity. You lose a piece of your strength. And over time you forget who you are, what you believe, and what you're here to build. The strongest people you'll meet are the ones who think with clarity. They don't move just because others move. They don't speak just to get attention. They don't agree just to avoid conflict. They stay true to their values. They ask hard questions. They make decisions based on truth, not pressure. And that's what makes them powerful, not talent, not image, not approval. Thought, independent thought, clear, focused thinking backed by action. You can be that person, but it starts by pulling your attention away from the crowd. From the endless noise, from the need to be liked, from the pressure to fit in, you have to choose depth over popularity, truth over comfort, growth over ease, and that choice will set you apart. It won't always feel good. People might not understand. Some will push back. Some will mock your focus. Some will call you arrogant just because you stopped following the usual path. That's okay. That's part of the process. Being misunderstood is the cost of thinking for yourself. But the reward is clarity, direction, power, confidence that doesn't need applause. Start noticing who you're modeling, whose behavior you're repeating, whose habits you've adopted without question. Ask yourself, are they strong? Are they disciplined? Do they live with purpose? Do they take responsibility? Or do they complain, avoid, and pass blame? If you're copying someone who isn't leading their own life with strength, you're not being led, you're being pulled down. The world is full of people who act strong but live weak. They post like they have it all figured out. They talk big, but behind the scenes they're distracted, undisciplined, inconsistent, and empty. You don't need to become another version of that. You don't need to perform strength. You need to build it, quietly, daily, from within. That means slowing down and thinking before you act, before you speak, before you react. Ask yourself, what do I really believe here? What do I truly want out of this? What is my standard in this situation? Thinking for yourself is not complicated. It's just uncommon. Most people rush. Most people react. Most people stay stuck. You were built to go further. But that only happens when you lead your mind, not let it get led by the weak. Stop copying people who complain all day, but do nothing to change. Stop following people who talk about discipline but live with no routine. Stop adopting the mindset of people who gave up on themselves years ago. You need strong input, clear thinking, real action. Choose your influences carefully. Choose your thoughts even more carefully. Don't just ask, what are others doing? Ask, what do I need to be doing based on who I want to become? That level of thought brings alignment. You begin to move with purpose. You stop chasing what's popular. You stop needing to be included in every conversation. You're no longer driven by other people's opinions. You're driven by your own vision. And when you slip, because you will, don't hide it. Own it. Learn from it. Adjust. That's what thinking people do. They don't pretend. They don't fake it. They stay grounded in truth. Even when it's hard. Even when it's unpopular. Especially then. The real work is not in becoming louder. It's in becoming sharper. Sharper in how you see. Sharper in how you decide. Sharper in how you move. That sharpness is earned. Through solitude. Through reflection. Through questioning everything that no longer fits your direction. Your mind is the leader. Everything else